Swing my hips as if they bear the rings of mama Saturn. Stretch my vertebrae so we can climb it like a... What's up, beautiful people? So part 3 is going to be about the difficulties of shadow work and embracing that journey and understanding that it is simply all mental. It is all mental and metaphysical. I'm gonna write that. The reason I'm saying this is because when I first started getting into shadow work, a lot of it was because I wanted to make money, right? And I'm not judging nobody because I know we all want to manifestation is a hot button thing now. Manifest. But how do you manifest? Because I've been trying to manifest for 3 years and it has happened. I realized that like my manifestations have happened now looking back on it, but they were manifestations that I didn't want because they weren't authentic to me. And like I keep saying, the reason why we do shadow work is to free ourselves. Not just, and because freedom brings joy, it brings peace, it brings abundance, it brings rejuvenation, and it brings hope. And so this journey of spiritual healing has been hard because learning to love myself after being told for 18 years of my life before I ran away to college that I was of no value everywhere I turned. I was told I was of no value because I was a female child by my family members. I was told I was of no value by society because of my vagina, yes, my vagina and my skin color and the way I spoke and where I came from. So many moments of being told I was not of value and then wanting to change. Being taught how to accept negative behavior, because that is a part of shadow. And that's something I'm seeing a lot, is that being taught to accept negative behavior, being taught how to not value yourself, how to not love yourself, and this is where it all begins. This is the root of it. This is the root of accepting, harm into our space, is because when all you know is harm and all you know is chaos, then you begin to just accept it in your everyday life. The world is a chaotic place, and so therefore my manifestation has to be chaotic, and it doesn't have to be. And that journey for me began with accountability. It began with becoming accountable for how I personally began to invite chaos into my life in the form of friendships, in the form of substance abuse, in the form of negligence, just in multiple different forms. And, one day I just had like a breakdown. I had started getting into, numerology and tarot and astrology like second semester, sophomore year, amazingly. It was this tarot reader on Twitter named Zoe Ann. I think it's Zoe Ann. I don't remember fully. And just really reading about their healing journey and them discovering their birth chart. And I encourage everyone to go and look into their birth chart, their numerology reports. It's really fascinating. Whether you believe in these things or not, I really encourage you to do it because it is amazing and fascinating. And I just, from there, life started really spiraling, because that's something else that happens in a spiritual awakening, is you start realizing that the things you thought you once wanted were not things that you really wanted. It's not really the reason why you manifested into this physical space. And so therefore, it is not something that really brought you joy. If anything, it's a performance. And, for me, my spirit started getting really tired of performing really quickly, and just really quickly got tired of performing. And so my junior year of college, I just had a breakdown. I truly had a breakdown of trying to figure out why I consistently ended up in certain spaces and certain situations with certain people, and what these things were trying to teach me about me. And at first it wasn't about what these things were trying to teach me. It was, why is this happening to me? Or why has this happened to me? Or why is this my life, you know? And that's the first thing, you know, the hanging ghost and the Eight of Swords suggests that message of, you know, why is this happening to me? Why is it me that this happens to? And the Tower is another card that I pulled. Be ready to have the mirage broken, but it's for your own good. My mirage started breaking. I wanted to be a Rhodes Scholar. I wanted to be on Dean's List. None of that was going to happen because I had multiple mental health illnesses that I didn't realize I had until I got to college. And being a black girl of the PWI, I was already seen as an affirmative action baby, so nobody was going to help me. And you know, it was my fault for not really baby pushing, but college is not for me. College is never for me. And I went because my parents wanted me to go. And so I had a tower moment. I've had multiple tower moments. And that's something else about, you know, a shadow work or spiritual journey you should understand, is that you will have multiple shadow moments. There will be multiple moments of your mirror breaking, of realizing that, like, wow, that was a fantasy. Like, that's not reality. Like, what I wanted. And it's like, and then you start asking yourself the question of, like, what am I really working towards? And is this really what I want to be working towards? And is this really benefiting me on my journey? On, like, what is this that I'm doing? And you have the tower moments that continue breakdown and ask you to rebuild. But each time you rebuild, you know, that's why people say mistakes are not bad. It's just lessons learned. Because each time those things break apart and fall away, new things are brought in. New ideas, new ways of being, new journeys. And so I don't know, I guess I wanted to do this video to encourage people to continue on, and to say that, like, shadow work is hard and it is difficult, and what I define shadow work as. And so yeah, shadow work looks so differently for everybody, but okay, that's spirit telling me to just give y'all a message on how to begin / continue on with your shadow work. I am going to pull one card. Strength in reverse, 5 of Cups in reverse, I guess, 10 of Coins upright, Knight of Staves. Okay, Strength in reverse is telling me that you are afraid. You don't think you can change your circumstances. You think that where you are is permanent. You don't see how light can shine on any shadow aspects of yourself. You may think that you are stuck in a situation in which that you are not allowed to shine your shadow self. How am I supposed to heal? What do you mean? What do you mean walk away? What do you mean break free? What do you mean shadow work? Because shadow work calls on you to choose yourself. And choosing yourself, I want people to understand, in certain situations can be dangerous. It can be very difficult if you're facing family members who are ununderstanding, if you're facing friends who aren't understanding, if you're facing the idea of not being able to move forward, then that shit is scary. But this Lovers here is saying that, like, one of the most beautiful things that has happened to me recently is finding more people that I can connect with. I have found some beautiful, amazing, like, community members over the last couple months, and it's brought me so much joy. And it's really because I've started choosing better. Choose better. Those are not the only people that you're stuck with. Those are not the only options that you are stuck with. You can shine the light on your shadow aspect. Have the strength and know that you are supported by the universe. And honestly, as you continue to shine the light on these aspects of yourself, your intuition grows. But not only that your intuition grows, your love of self grows. That is what's beautiful about shadow work, is that shadow work allows us to relearn how to love ourselves, and it teaches us our own power. It teaches us that we are the magicians in our own lives. It teaches us that we are the magicians in our own lives, and that, you know, this Five of Cups is telling me that, like, you are unwilling to walk away. We're unwilling to walk away, Heavenly Master, because sometimes I think that a lot of people talk about the divine, and even me too. Sometimes I talk about the divine, and sometimes I'm like, I'm crazy. I'm like, how could this be true? How could this be real? What is manifestation? That shit is witchcraft. You know, like, you have to believe in this and you have to believe in that, and you can't have the life that you want. And the truth is, like, you can. You can. As you go on this journey, the lessons that I'm learning and the expansions that I am gaining is bringing me new wisdom. You don't believe that the world can change, or your world can change. That doesn't have to be a big grand meaning. Your world can change. This 10 of coins in reverse and this 9 of coins in reverse is showing me that, like, you may be looking at, like, generations. You may be looking at generational patterns, being like, my family is this or my family is that. And as corny as it sounds, I really do think that the new generation of people on this planet right now are here to change the frequency. We are here to, yes, the Moon card, reconnect in ways that the world has not seen since colonization took hold of this planet. Since, you know, like, we're like, oh, this is how the world works. My great-great-great-grandmother was stuck in capitalist and white supremacist claws. So what makes me think that I won't be stuck in capitalist and white supremacist claws? This is how love has always worked out for my family. This is how money has always worked out for my family. This is how manifestation has always worked. This is how the world has always worked. But the moon was here before Columbus was even born. The moon was here before America was here. And there was a world that existed and truths that existed. And that world is not primal. That world is not primitive. Those people knew what they were doing. The lessons that they left behind are still the lessons that we are participating in. They're still the truths that we hold within ourselves. And so don't feel as though, like, you can't, through your staves, create something new. Don't feel as though that you can't start a new pattern. Don't feel as though, and I guess the message on here is to this Knight of Staves, embrace your spirit. Embrace it all. Choose yourself always, through and through. When you into a situation and it don't make you feel good, you leave. One of the best lessons I have learned so far in my spiritual journey is that everything that belongs to you will feel good. Sometimes I was going to say it's a resounding yes, but sometimes it's not a resounding yes, because the spirit likes to surprise us and give us nice things that we don't know is coming to us. But things that are meant to be in our lives aren't difficult. It's simple. It's easy. It flows. It works. You know what I mean? So follow the flow. Follow the flow. Follow the things that bring you peace and bring you ease. Don't follow the things that bring you conflict. Those things don't need to be a part of your manifestation. Those things do not need to be a part of your journey. Yeah, Ace of Cups, Six of Swords in reverse. I pulled this for a friend in the reading today. The Six of Swords, and Ace of Cups. Don't let people's words hit you that hard. It's all a projection. When you start healing your shadow, the world that you live in is gonna fall apart, because it's not the world that you were supposed to be in. And that means that the people are going to start saying things, projections are gonna start coming your way, but ignore all of those things, because those words do not mean shit to you. Continue to water yourself. Always water yourself.